So I hate searching for the best credit cards online. And it's not because it's too little information, there's just too much. Every site claims to have the ultimate list, every influencer swears by a different card. And by the time you've opened up your 5th comparison chart, you're more confused than when you started. Honestly, it's exhausting. You just want to make a smart decision, something that fits your needs and doesn't come back to bite you later. But it feels impossible to know who to trust or what really matters. The truth is, most people approach this search the wrong way. They focus on the cards themselves, like the perks, the points, the shiny extras, and they end up missing the bigger picture. So in this video, I want to help you think differently about credit cards. I'll show you a practical way to cut through the noise and actually figure out which one's right for you. And once that's clear, I'm going to show you what you should look at based on your goal. And I'll use an example to demo this so it's easy to understand. Alright, let's get into this. So how can you shave hours off your credit card search? It might almost sound too simple, but it just starts with defining your goals. Most people start by comparing perks, gym discounts, travel rewards, free airport lounge access, but those are side benefits, not the main reason to pick a card. The real question you should ask yourself is, what do I actually want to do with this card? Because every credit card is built with a goal in mind. Some help you manage debt, some build credit, and other reward you for everyday spending or travel. Most cards mix a bit of everything, but they almost always specialize in one area. For example, if you're trying to pay down existing debt, a card with a long 0% introductory APR period is your best move. If you're starting out or rebuilding your credit score, you'll want a secured card that helps you prove you can manage credit responsibly. And if you want to earn something back on your, say, day-to-day purchases, then a cashback card is the way to go. You might still see a card that throws in other perks like a travel card that also offers gym discounts or a cashback card that includes a few travel rewards. And yeah, that's pretty great, but those extras should never distract you from your main goal. Choose your primary for the outcome you care about the most, then secondarily for the perks that sweeten the deal. So with that in mind, let's look at some of the best credit cards in 2026 that align with different goals. If you already know exactly what you want, you can skip to the one that matches your goal. But I highly recommend watching them all because you might find something unexpected that fits you even better. Let's start with credit cards that actually pull their weight for everyday spending. These are the ones that reward you for the things that you'd be buying anyway. Maybe it's things for like groceries, gas, streaming subscriptions, or online purchases. If that sounds like you, then there are two main types worth looking into. First are the flat rate cashback cards that give you the same percentage on every purchase no matter what you're buying. They're pretty simple, predictable, and a good choice if your spending isn't tied to specific stores or categories. Then there are category-based cashback cards, which reward you more for certain kinds of spending. They might give you, say, extra cash back at supermarkets, gas stations, or specific online retailers. These typically tend to work best if your monthly spending leans heavily towards one or two areas. So for me personally, my 4 favorite cards in this category are: first, the American Express Gold Credit Card. This is pretty much my go-to card for grocery runs at Aldi and Trader Joe's because it earns 4 times the rewards points for every dollar spent. And yeah, I can redeem those points for flights, statement credits, or gift cards. I recently just used mine for a hotel room in Taiwan. The catch here is the $325 annual fee. So you need to use this card often enough to come out ahead. Second is my Chase Amazon Prime credit card. I found out that this card consistently pays off because I use Amazon for so many of my everyday purchases. It gives me 5% cash back on all Amazon orders and there's no annual fee. So every reward you earn is pretty much pure gain. It also includes basic purchase protection and extended warranty coverage, which has saved me more than once on electronics and small appliances. If you shop on Amazon even a few times a month, the rewards will add up fast. Third is the Citi Double Cash credit card. This card pretty much gives you 1% cash back when you make a purchase and another 1% when you pay it off. So basically you get a steady 2% total return on everything you buy. I feel like this is one of the most reliable entry-level credit cards for anyone who doesn't want to track rotating categories or spend patterns. And yeah, there's no annual fee and you also get 5% cash back on travel booked through Citi's travel portal, along with access to exclusive events like concerts and dining experiences. Fourth is the American Express Blue Cash Preferred credit card. So yeah, this one does have a $95 annual fee, but it easily pays for itself if you're a regular grocery shopper. For this one, you actually get 6% cash back on groceries and streaming services, 3% on transit and gas, and 1% on other purchases. So if you spend around $1,600 a year on groceries, the cash back covers the fee. After that, it's pure savings. I believe this is a strong option for anyone with steady monthly spending on essentials. Now, when you're choosing a general cashback card, you want to keep 3 things in mind. First is the spending fit. You want to make sure that you check your monthly budget. Cards with higher category rewards only make sense if your spending aligns with those categories. And second are fees and limits. Some cashback cards cap the amount that you earn earn or charge annual fees that eats into your rewards. So you want to make sure that the math works in your favor. Next, let's look at credit cards made for people who spend a lot of time on the road. Maybe you're a journalist traveling between cities for interviews. Or maybe you're some sort of digital nomad who sets up in a new country every few months. Travel can be rewarding, but it also comes with a lot of small hidden costs. And that's where the right card can save you money and make the process smoother. If you're traveling for work and your company covers your flights and hotels, you can still benefit from travel-focused perks like access to airport lounges, complimentary travel insurance, no foreign transaction fees, and faster security or boarding services. One of the best premium travel cards I've seen for this is the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card. Now, it does have a $550 annual fee, but you get a $300 annual travel credit that automatically applies to your first $300 in travel spending each year, which effectively brings down the cost to $250. It also gives you 10x points on hotels and car rentals booked through Chase Travel, and 3x points on other travel purchases. It also has complimentary access to over 1,300 airport lounges worldwide through Priority Pass, comprehensive trip cancellations, and delay insurance, no foreign transaction fees, which is a pet peeve of mine when spending abroad, and 50% more value when redeeming points for travel through Chase's platform. If you like the structure of this card but want something more affordable, the Chase Sapphire Preferred Credit Card offers many of the same features for a much lower $95 annual fee. You'll still earn pretty much the solid travel points, get travel insurance coverage, and avoid foreign transaction fees, just without the higher end perks like lounge access and luxury concierge services. Personally, I've used the Chase cards before, and I also use the Capital One Venture X for hotels and flights because its reward structure is simpler and often gives me the best value on the trips I take the most. It earns 10 times the miles on hotels and rental cars and 5 times the miles on flights. So whether your travel is for work or lifestyle, these cards help your money stretch further each time you're on the road. Now, another important goal is whether you work for someone else or run your own business. So say, for example, if you recently launched your own online business or one of your hobbies has unexpectedly turned into a growing income stream, it might be the time to think about getting a dedicated credit card for your business. Now, this card shouldn't be used for both personal and business purchases. Keeping them separate helps with 2 things: organizing your bookkeeping and simplifying your taxes. It also protects your personal credit record if something goes wrong in the business. So you might choose a personal credit card based on your personal goals. Maybe you travel a lot because you're a consultant, so you get a travel rewards card. But as your freelance or small business income grows, it makes sense to also have a business credit card to manage expenses, separate accounts, and earn rewards on purchases that directly support your work. Now, there are tons of options out there. One of my favorites is the Capital One Spark 1% Classic, which is ideal for startups or entrepreneurs. It doesn't charge an annual fee whatsoever, offers a 1% cashback on every purchase, regardless of where you make it, and you even get some travel perks like a 5% cashback on hotels and rental cars. However, when I launched my business, I went with a card from the Chase Business Inc. series. For me, I love that I can issue free employee cards under the same account, which keeps all of our spending in one place. It also includes extended warranties and purchase protection, which gives me peace of mind on bigger business purchases. The reward structure is also strong enough to cover a good chunk of my annual software costs, so it consistently pays for itself. Now, when choosing a business credit card, you want to ask yourself these 5 questions. First, how will I actually use it? Focus on your biggest expenses. If you spend the most on software, ads, supplies, you want to make sure that you choose a card that rewards those categories. Next is, can my business handle the credit responsibly? Business cards often need a personal guarantee, so missed payments can affect your credit. Only get one if you can clear the balance each month. Next is, does this card make bookkeeping easier? Look for cards that sync with tools like QuickBooks or Xero. I promise you, it's going to save you a ton of hours during tax time. Next is, what's the total cost? Fees can range anywhere from, say, $0 to $295. Now, if you spend a lot on business expenses, the rewards can easily cover that. Last is, will this card scale with my business? You ideally want to choose a card that allows free employee cards and upgrade options as your business expands. And by the way, if you want to see all of my favorite credit cards and the budgeting sheet that my community uses to help them get their finances in order, I'll leave a link in the description for you to download, and yes, everything is free. Now, another solid reason to get a credit card is to manage existing debt. Sometimes life just hits you out of nowhere. A medical emergency, a job setback, or your car giving out when you need it the most. Ideally, you would have an emergency fund ready for these moments. But if you just started saving or you've had a run of unexpected expenses, you might need another way to buy yourself some time. That's where balance transfer or low interest credit cards come in. The best ones give you a long 0% introductory period to pay off what you owe interest-free, and a fair rate once that period ends. 2 of the strongest options right now are the Wells Fargo Reflect Visa credit card and the Citi Simplicity credit card. Both Both offer up to 21 months of 0% APR on balance transfers and new purchases, which is one of the longest grace periods in 2026. Neither charges an annual fee, and both give you breathing room to get your finances under control without piling on more interest. If you're currently paying high rates on another card, you can transfer that balance to one of these cards. Most banks charge a small transfer fee, typically around 3 to 5% of the amount moved, but that might be a small price to pay for nearly 2 years without interest. Just be disciplined about paying more than the minimum each month, because that's how you're actually going to make progress. Now, you might be also looking for a credit card to build or rebuild your credit score. If you're new to credit or trying to recover from past mistakes, this is one of the smartest ways to start over. Now, it definitely takes time, usually 6 to 12 months of consistent on-time payments, but the improvement can be dramatic if you handle it right. For anyone starting from zero or with a limited credit history, a secured credit card is often the best way in. Now, these cards require a refundable security deposit that becomes your credit limit. For example, if you put $500, that's the amount that you can spend. Now, over time, your responsible payment history builds trust with your lender, and once you qualify for an unsecured card, your deposit is returned. One of the best secured cards in 2026 is the Discover It Secured Credit Card. You can start with as little as a $200 deposit, earn 2% cashback on gas stations and restaurants, and 1% on everything else. Now, after 7 months, Discover automatically reviews your account, and if you paid on time and manage your balance as well, it'll upgrade you to a normal unsecured card. Now, your progress is reported to all the 3 major credit bureaus, which helps you build a strong credit profile over time. Okay, so I have 2 simple rules that make this process smoother. First, you want to keep your utilization below 30%. So for example, if your limit is $1,000, try not to spend more than $300 at a time. This is going to show lenders that you're managing credit wisely and not relying on it for everyday spending. However, if you want to build your credit score faster, I would aim below 10%. Second is always pay on time. Even one missed payment can stay on your credit report for up to 5 years and drag your score down fast. Set automatic payments or reminders so you never slip. So there you have it, the best credit cards for 2026. Now, if you want to take the next step and grow beyond credit management, check out my beginner's investing class. It walks you through how to make your first investment with as little as $10, and it's completely free. You can join the class here.